Welcome to Global Village. Today we have a great two people. Our two guests today, Mr. Gordon Simpson from Tilley, Councillor, Count of Newell as well. Welcome to the program, Mr. Gordon. And Mr. Clarison from Rolling Hills, Councillor, and both of them are guests of Global Village today. Welcome to Global Village, please.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for coming. Gord, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
First of all, I was born in Tilley, in
There
the
you
county of Newell, and spent all my schooling there. Went away to secondary school in Calgary at SAIT, and then worked in the oil field for about 10 years after graduating from SAIT. Came back in 1988 to my home farm, and I've been in Tilley ever since.
Wow.
So, and then have been a county councillor since the fall of 2013.
Okay, thank you very much. What about Mr. Klaas?
Well, I was actually born in Holland, born there many years ago. My parents immigrated with my sister and myself in 1953, and we arrived in Caroline, Alberta, April the 6th, 1953, and I remember that because that's my birthday.
Wow.
And from there we went to Iron Springs, and my father realized he couldn't, because we had a small family, he wouldn't be working in the beets, so he knew that that wouldn't be for us, and got a job in Rolling Hills working for a farmer, and a year later bought a farm, quarter section. So I basically grew up in Rolling Hills. I took all my schooling there except for 1 year of high school in grade 12 in Brooks, and attended the University of Calgary. Got my Bachelor of Education degree, majoring in math and minoring in physical education. Taught for 4 years in Calgary, and then came back to the farm and operated a dairy farm till 2002. Got very involved in the dairy industry. Was chair of Dairy World Foods, chair of Alpha Milk, got involved in promotion activities. And after 2002, we sold our dairy, so we just became a regular farmer. And everybody thought I'd retired, but I was doing just as much work as everybody else. But when 2010 came around, some of my neighbors twisted my arm to run for county councillor, and I'm glad I did. It's a very rewarding experience, and Rolling Hills is a wonderful area to represent. And so I'm now basically retired from farming and just a councillor.
Well, I always tell friends that Holland is one of the best area in Europe. Very small country, but it's very beautiful. Been many times, and it's a very one of the best area that you can hope for someone to retire as well. It's a farming area.
Yeah.
It's a very small, but it's very beautiful and clean and welcoming people as well. Could you tell us about Tilley? Is it a town or village or hamlet?
Recently, it's kind of had a change. Up until the fall of 2013, it was a village.
Yeah.
And a village that was having problems meeting their municipal needs, supplying the service to residents, which a lot of small communities have due to their tax base. So they approached the County of Newell and asked to become part of the County of Newell, dissolve basically, and become part of the County of Newell as a hamlet. And so the county and the village at that time had meetings and decided that they would dissolve into the County of Newell. So now the hamlet of Tilley is part of the County of Newell. And what that means is that now they get all the county services, they get the roads graded, they get all the engineering, they get all the staff. So it is something that they thought was the best for their village at the time, to come join the County of Newell and become, I guess it would probably be our 9th hamlet in the County of Newell. So it's something that the County of Newell is very used to and they're absorbed into our system quite seamlessly. So it's been a very good partnership, and we look forward to moving it forward in the coming years.
So John Timko is no longer then the mayor then?
No. So what happens is as I said, they get absorbed into the county,
Okay.
into my division, Division 2,
Yeah.
and so I represent them on county council.
Oh, okay.
And but further to that, they have something called an advisory board, which has no voting power in the county of Newell, but they do make recommendations
Okay.
to me and to the county council of, you know, they're more hands-on. They live in the community. They're a board that
Yeah.
sees the issues that may be happening in the community that they can report to the county. So, and we have this set up with all our hamlets. So it seems to work very well.
No, that's great. What about Rolling Hills,
Well,
Mr. Clarence?
Rolling Hills has always been a hamlet. It used to be the largest hamlet until Tilly became a hamlet.
No.
So we're very used to that system, but much the same. The people in the hamlet have an advisory board who do, you know, look after some of the green spaces in the area and so forth. But it works very well. You know, they're a good source of information for me, and we like to think we're doing fairly well, and we certainly are glad to be part of the county.
Oh, that's good. I always advocate for the fact that true believer, what's good for example, Rolling Hills or Tilly is good for Brooks, because it's all one region. So how do you see, for example, oil is going down? How do you see if would that effect will have any effect on the economic growth of the Newell region as economic growth of the area?
It has to have some effect, yes. I mean, we are, let's make no bones about it, we are an oil and gas
Yeah.
province. But I think over the past few years we have diversified. I mean, you look at our local region.
Yeah.
We have Lakeside, JBS,
Yeah.
which employs lots of people. We have a strong agricultural base.
Yeah.
We have real positive things happening in Bazzano.
Yeah.
The EID is a strong, has a strong workforce in our area. So, of course, a downturn in the oil and gas is going to affect our region, but I don't think not near as much as it would have 10 years ago. You know, so I mean, we are diversifying all the time, and I think that people will survive this quite well, actually.
That's good to hear. What do you think, Mr. Clarence?
You know, we've gone through these cycles before.
Yeah.
Certainly, I think our region is one of the largest, has one of the largest gas reserves in all of Canada, and it's a pretty mature area. And it, you know, we're going to keep needing energy in the foreseeable future. That this will come back up.
Yeah.
It won't go up as quick as it went down.
Yeah.
But it will come back, and as like Gord says, it's not totally dependent on oil and gas. Agriculture is pretty good at the moment,
Yeah.
and I think also our area is also got industries that are affected by the oil and gas, and they won't be as robust. But it's not just around our area; it's province-wide, it's countrywide, and I think it'll come back.
But would you say, for example, the oil going down will also help the consumers because they will have more money to spend?
Well, we're certainly a long ways from nowhere, sort of thing. Anywhere we go, we have to drive,
Yeah.
and anywhere we take our products, they have to go by something that takes gasoline. So
Yeah.
anytime that cost is reduced, those industries are going to profit from that reduction in cost. Farming is one of them. Products are high. Some of the inputs now have actually gone down. So I mean, that should help something.
Something. Okay, there you go. So that will bring me off this one, which is, So how do you think we can attract a labor force in the region for the business retention purpose, for example? Because the business has to run with a labor force, and if they don't have labor force, it's going to be difficult for a business to run. So how you think can attract labor force from other places to come to the region?
Well, that is a very, very good question. There's many, many answers to it. But first of all, you have to have a nice place to live, and you have to have accommodations, and you have to have good schools, and it just has to be a nice place to live. And I think when you look at the County of Newell, the City of Brooks, in our region, we have lots of everything.
Yeah.
We have lots of accommodations. We're making improvements all the time. We're bringing in regional water. I mean, and our recreational facilities probably are second to none in our area. So I think if you make it a nice place to live, people will come. They're always looking for jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's looking for jobs because that's what makes our economy move.
Yeah.
So I think a big, big part of this process is just having a good community to live in. I think that word gets around, and I think that brings people in. I think that's the number one thing that brings people in.
I could not agree more. I think, Mr. Gordon, also, I think other places of the county also offer housing as well, as we discussed last time.
Yes.
Not only Brooks, I think Tilly has, Rolling is Bassano, Dodge. There is also availability of housing that probably can take the pressure off from Brooks if there is a limited housing as well.
Yeah, so first of all, you need the jobs.
Yeah.
And but it doesn't immediately, you don't have housing. And but I think from as far as local governments are concerned, it's that you try to make that development as easy as possible in an organized fashion. You try to provide that not too much red tape.
Yeah.
But you also have to be very conscious that whatever you do shouldn't affect the neighbors wherever you're building. So those are all things that you balance back and forth. And there's not one right answer. There's lots of ways to do it. But affordable, safe communities are a big draw.
That is the most important. People look at safe communities and welcoming communities, which we very glad to say we have those in Newell County region. Safe, welcoming people, and I think people will definitely look into that consideration when they're moving to our region. Coming back is also a tourism. I think we have a lot of places of tourism in the county, whether it's Lake Newell or Bassano area. How do you think we also increase that tourism in order to have people flock into the area?
I think we work on that on a daily basis. I mean, and we have people that do work on that on a daily basis, and it's again getting the word out there. I mean, the internet is a great way to do that. I mean, everybody's on the internet, and you're right. We have some of the nicest lake in southern Alberta. We have a World Heritage Site up at Dinosaur Park. We have the Bassano Dam.
Yeah,
it's a point of interest. I mean, but again, this is all part of the total package. You have a safe, nice community. You have a great tourist facilities. You have great accommodations. It's all part of the whole package that would draw people into here. And a lot of it's word of mouth too, because if someone comes here and has a good time, enjoys themselves, they're going to tell their friends, and it'll continue on. So I think it's all part of the whole package.
Well, that's true indeed, and I think Lake Newell also attracts people from everywhere because of where it's located, and I think it's one of the largest lake.
It is the largest lake.
Man-made, right?
Man-made. Yeah.
Oh.
In Alberta, and maybe more than that. It's. But yeah, again, all these things do not happen overnight.
Yeah.
Alberta is. If you ask where people go in Alberta, they talk about the mountains. So we've got a challenge there to make them come out a little further east. But water is always a draw. we've just recently at the county level had a big discussion about paths, bike paths, walking paths. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a walking path between Brooks and Lake Newell, for instance, coming
Wow.
somewhere in the future. And these things, you know, when people stay and if they bring in their bikes or even if they're just walking,
Mhm.
if you have a nice, safe place to do that type of activity, it draws people.
That's a very good, because bike having that, I think, will be a very good for exercise, for people to exercise, for the health issue, for environmental too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
You know, we've got fair amount of paths in Brooks, and I think you have to give the city a lot of credit for making those paths. And you know, I know we kind of focus on the one that goes up to the EID building because that's where the county's building is. And you know, you hardly ever drive by, but there's people on there.
Oh,
It always seems to be either people walking, mostly walking, and you know, that's good to see.
I think the city also has, Brooks has.
Those are in the Brooks. Brooks has paths all over the place. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and I
There-
think now for Brooks also building that Lakeside Leisure Center, they will have the inside, I believe, inside soccer game. I think they also want to bring the library into there.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, take that library out and then bring the library in the Lakeside Leisure, which is, you know, that's a huge undertaking,
It is.
and that would increase also the volume of the people within the town or coming from the other place. If you have a big library, for example, larger.
In my view, and I think the county's view and the city's view, you have to cater to your demographic, and you know, you need the libraries, you need the recreational facilities, you need, plus you also, though, you have to look after your infrastructure. So I mean, it's at a municipal level, you have a lot of things you have to deal with, and this is all part of making it a good place to live.
That's true. I think Jeff from the city sent me. I believe the city has a free skating will be provided. I think on sometime next week or the week after, and that will be CRA. They will provide the helmet and all that stuff. And I was talking to some of the new Canadians, and I said, you know what, it's about time that you guys should be learning the the reality of here. It's hockey. Leave this soccer and all that stuff. Keep the soccer games played, but you know, you have to let your kids play the hockey, because that's the sports here. And I think a lot of them will be going to the arena, I think, next week or the week after, to take advantage of that free lessons from there. And I will be one of them.
That's
Well,
good.
that's good, but you know, the recent immigrants have brought soccer to the table too. Like
Yeah.
when I was growing up, yeah, we played it, but never was organized. And now, I mean, there's soccer played all over the place.
Very especially Sutherland Park.
Right.
Yeah.
Summertime there are teams that play daily, and they have a championship and all that. They have tournament
Oh yeah.
from I believe May onwards.
Right.
Yeah, so it's good. So it's both ways.
Yep.
Soccer is something that immigrants love.
Right.
You can't take that away. I think not only it came from Africa, Asia, Europe. Those play soccer games. In North America, I don't think so. It will
No.
take time.
It takes time.
Takes time.
Yeah, it takes time for people to turn on to these soccer games. They call football.
Football, absolutely.
Yeah, they call football here. But still, I think we have a very different ethnic groups in our area, which gladly we call the area that is like the UN. You don't have to travel. You see every culture in our area. If it's Mexican, Mennonite, or Africa, Asia, Europe, or different immigrants in our area. And that's what makes, I think, all very interesting.
It's certainly bringing the world to our doorstep.
There you go.
But that enhances our community.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, you just the diversity our kids see now, and the different cultures. They go into the world now, coming from our area, ready for the world because they've seen the world at our doorstep, and I think that's just that does nothing but good for them. I really do. It's and it makes us a better community. It really does.
And that's why I think both of you were that Citizen of the Year, where you had the young kids dancing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
That was lovely.
Yeah.
That was dancing. That was lovely. That and we have other groups, for example, from different ethnic groups that have the same. The Latinos have, the Chinese have, other Asians and Africans have. So I think it's a very unique. I know Toronto is a very much multicultural, but if you look the population-wise in Toronto, it's you know, in Ontario you're looking about 12 million, I think 13 million, but to have a the same component of the ethnic groups in a small county, it's a unique.
Yeah. And you know, mentioning that Citizen of the Year, we were just talking about that at FCSS. I said, oh, it's been a long time since we've had entertainment, and I think that's going to become an annual thing that will, no matter who wins, we probably try to tap into that little bit of entertainment because everybody loved it. I had nothing but good reports from that. That was great.
It was great.
enjoyable,
It was very enjoyable, and I think I was talking to I think some of the guys, the folks, and told them maybe it's a good idea to have the same group of those kids in our rodeo coming, the braid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that is now a discussion, and we're trying to get a maybe a one float, so they can
Okay.
dance on top.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a rodeo is a unique, and it's a culture itself. It's a cowboy culture,
Yes.
which has been here for what many hundred years,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, you know what, we'll just test the water. We're not going to overload. We'll just have a one float so people can dance, and then they can see the same what we saw last time at the Citizen of the Year. So that's an idea that I think we're moving ahead with.
Good.
But that's bringing our cultures together. I mean,
Yeah.
here you have our local culture, which is the rodeo,
Yeah.
and a new culture, which is we're trying to assimilate them together. It's great. I mean, that's what makes it work.
And that's what will bring a tourism into the area, because when they see this all different dancing, you're going to have a people flocking just for curiosity to see. They're coming all the way from either Rolling Hills or Bassano from within the county, or maybe from Medicine Hat. I think I don't know if Medicine Hat if they have that different cultures, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think they have that much cultures within Medicine Hat. They do have some immigrants, but not the components we have.
Probably not so much because of our workforce that we have locally up around Brooks and County of Newell. I mean, it's just they don't have that demographic down here that they would need that.
No, they don't have it. I had a Mayor Ted of Medicine Hat here, and they don't have, and yet still they trying to understand. And I said, well, maybe you guys need to learn from our area. It's about
Yeah.
time you come there and you learn from there, and then maybe implement from here. So they're having also it's new to them also, according to the mayor. So they're trying to have everyone participate, and they're not still succeeding. So it takes time. It takes time.
What we're talking about in our area is probably taking 20 years.
There you go.
You know, really, when you think
Yeah.
about it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's this assimilation and growing as a unit. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. And a lot of passion too. So, you know, just like I say, it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, Rome was not built in one day. They say.
No.
So
That's right.
it takes time. So that brings me to the one of what makes you run for. I know you said you retired for a public office, because that's an honorable thing to do.
I don't know so much if it's honorable, but I'll tell you what it is. It's my situation. We've been here we immigrated here, my family, almost 90 years ago from Scotland.
Okay.
This region has been very, very good to my family
Yeah.
and to me. I mean, I know how fortunate I am to have been brought up here and make a living here. So what happened was I knew that Tilly was going to go through some changes. And I'm part of Tilly. I've lived in Tilly my whole life. And our past councillor was going to retire. And so I just felt, and I really did, that it was an opportunity, and maybe I did owe something back to my community. You know, I really did. Like it's, and I knew it was going to be a lot of work because I knew the changes we were going to be going through locally. So fortunately, the ratepayers thought I was a proper candidate, so I became the county councillor for our area. But that was really the thing. I just really felt that it was time to give something back because, you know, it's been very good to me, and I've lived here a long time, and it's, you know, I'd like to see it continue to move forward, you know, so that's probably the biggest reason.
That's good. What about you?
Well, it's much the same. I think, you know, most of our rural communities are based on volunteerism, of people getting involved. I just felt I had the time and was approached to, I was honored to be approached to run. But I think it is about giving back. Democracies don't work if you're just taking.
Yeah.
Democracies work when
Giving.
you're giving, and that's a very rewarding type of thing. It can also be sometimes very challenging.
Yeah.
But if you're fortunate enough to be able to do those types of things, it's an honor, and I think you just have to give back to your communities.
And Gordon, yeah, the reason I said it's honor to serve the community, it's giving it back. And people have that, we have to encourage also the young generation to run for public office, because that's how people make a difference and how people, they give it back to the community. If we don't have a public office people, then it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
People have to run for the public. It's challenging. It's a not easy job. People might think when they look from outside, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's a decision-making mechanism and all that. So,
And that is a very good point, engaging the young group, younger. And I think we reach out and do a pretty good job of that. But sometimes there's a lot of things, economics, sometimes. I mean, a lot of times young people don't have time, you know.
Yeah.
But it's, for the future of our whole area, future of our country, we have to get the young people involved. And I really do think that they do a good job of running our local communities. I see them on our local boards, our local you know, charities, stuff like that. So they, I really think our youth are getting on board and doing a pretty good job of looking after our communities.
no, definitely, and I hope they will be listening also that from you. I think that will go a long way. Listening from two councillors that are great to our community, so that will go also a long way for them to engage the young generation in volunteering, in, you know, giving it back.
For sure.
And I think both of you do giving back to the community, I think, and you do very well. And we are very glad to have you, both of you, as our county councillors. And thank you very much for coming to Global Village show, and we hope we will have you sometime in the near future. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Gordon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You bet.
Thank you very much. This is the end of Global Village, and thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you will join us next time. I would like to take the opportunity and thank City of Brooks, Medicine College, and County of Newell for their continuous support of Global Village Show. Until then, this is where East and West meet. Join us next time. This is Ahmed Kasim, your host of the program. God bless you all. Have a good one.